जय जय सुरनायक जन सुखदायक प्रणत पाल भगवंता गोद्विज हितकारी जय सुरारी सिंधु सुता प्रिय कंता पालन सुर धरनी अद्भुत करनी मरम न जानई कोई जो सहज कृपाला दीन दयाला करऊ अनुग्रह सोई करऊ अनुग्रह सोई। जय जय अविनाशी सब घटवासी व्यापक परमानंदा अभिगत गोतीतम चरित पुनीतम माया रहित मुकुंदा जेहि लागी विरागी अति अनुरागी विगत मोह मुनि वृंदा निशिबासर ध्यावहि गुण गण गावहि जयति सच्चिदानंदा जयति सच्चिदानंदा। जेहि सृष्टि उपाई त्रिविध बनाई संग सहाय न दूजा सो करऊ अघारी चिंत हमारी जानिय भगति न पूजा। भव भय भंजन मुनि मन रंजन गंजन विपति बरूथा मन बच क्रम बानी छाड़ी सयानी शरण सकल सुर जूथा शरण सकल सुर जूथा। शारद श्रुति शेषा ऋषय शेषा जाकहु को नहीं जाना जेहि दीन पियारे वेद पुकारे द्रवहु सुश्री भगवाना। भव बारिधि मंदर सब विधि सुंदर गुण मंदिर सुख पुंजा मुनि सिद्ध सकल सुर परम भयातुर नमत नाथ पद कंजा नमत नाथ पद कंजा। जय जय अविनाशी सब घटवासी व्यापक परमानंदा अभिगत गोतीतम चरित पुनीतम माया रहित मुकुंदा जेहि लागी विरागी अति अनुरागी विगत मोह मुनि वृंदा निशिबासर ध्यावहि गुण गण गावहि जयति सच्चिदानंदा जयति सच्चिदानंदा।
Just how real is God? And what is that capacity within ourselves where His reality can be known? And which capacities do we use in our day-to-day life, moment to moment? And in the use of those, does God seem real or unreal? Shall we contemplate these questions for a few minutes? Anyone is not clear about what the questions are? Just how real is God? What is that ability or capacity within ourselves through which we recognize His reality? And what is it that we are using every day, moment to moment? Which capacities are we using? And does God seem real or unreal using those? Is God's reality like the world's reality, the phenomenal existence of an object or the phenomenal perception of an object? Is that the same reality that we find God to have? And if not, then how do we find God? How is the recognition of God different from the recognition of a phone or any object in the world? What is the difference between faith and belief? And is the discovery, recognition of God's presence a matter of faith or belief? Faith or belief? What can we find within ourselves that is beyond time and space? what within ourselves is beyond time and space, and how is that recognized?
ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ। ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ। ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਸਰੰਜਾਮ ਲਾ ਭਜ ਕਰਨ ਕੇ। ਸਰੰਜਾਮ ਲਾ ਭਜ ਕਰਨ ਕੇ। ਜਨਮ ਬਿਰਤਾ ਜਾਤ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਇਆ ਕੈ। ਜਨਮ ਬਿਰਤਾ ਜਾਤ ਰੰਗ ਮਾਇਆ ਕੈ। 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 ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ। ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ। ਭਈ ਪਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੋਹਰੀਆ। ਜਪ ਤਪ ਸੰਜਮ ਧਰਮ ਨਾ ਕਮਾਇਆ। ਜਪ ਤਪ ਸੰਜਮ ਧਰਮ ਨਾ ਕਮਾਇਆ। ਸੇਵਾ ਸਾਧਨਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਹਰ ਰਾਇਆ। ਸੇਵਾ ਸਾਧਨਾ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਹਰ ਰਾਇਆ। ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਮ ਨੀਚ ਕਰਮ। ਕਹੋ ਨਾਨਕ ਹਮ ਨੀਚ ਕਰਮ।
So Guru Nanak Ji is saying that this human body has been given to you. This is your chance to meet the Lord of the universe. This is your chance to meet the Lord of the universe. Nothing else will work, he says. We must join the Sadh Sangat, which is the Satsang or the company of the holy, and vibrate and meditate on the jewel of the name of the Naam, the remembrance of God's name to keep the focus on God. Find company that resonates in this way, that can guide you in this way, and keep the focus on remembering God. Make every effort to cross over this terrifying world ocean. Make every effort to cross over this terrifying world ocean. You are squandering this life uselessly in the love of Maya. You are squandering this life uselessly in the love of Maya. Then the seed says, I have not practiced meditation, self-discipline, self-restraint, or righteous living. I have not served the holy. I have not acknowledged the Lord, my King. Says Nanak, my actions are contemptible. They are contemptible, and we'll talk more about that. O Lord, I seek your sanctuary. Please preserve my honor. Or basically, please save me. So he says the human body has been given to us. This is our chance to meet the Lord of the universe. We are wasting away, we are squandering away this life in our love for Maya, and soon it will be over. So he says, keep the right company, both within and outside. Remain in the remembrance of God's name. Keep the focus on God and not on me. And then we can cross over this hellish existence, which seems so tempting at this point, but it is a fading dream. Soon it will be over. So how can we meet the Lord of the universe? Was that the first question we asked today, or how real is God? So what is the clue here? If we are going to be caught up in the love of Maya, which is the realm of attachments, then we cannot meet God. And the promises of Maya are just the promises to make this hell palatable, but it's never going to be. The life of egotism, the life of specialness, the life of me, the life of pride, the life of existence, basically, the life of separation, basically. The absence of love can never be truly happy, truly satisfied. It's a constant chasing, it's a constant running after. Right?
Let's see how it comes in words. But why I want to mention this, because also here, and I mean, it's such a popular concept. Don't be caught by Maya, don't love Maya. And I mean, lately, or in this period where I am actually dealing a lot with this. And for me, this starts sounding like an excuse, like that is used as an excuse to just dismiss Maya, or even to hate Maya. And that's not God then. So why is there so much pointing, don't love Maya, when, or don't be attached with Maya, or why I hear it wrong when, for me, would be love Maya, because that's as well God.
What is your definition of Maya?
It is also the world, it's the world, it's the all
But
of
that
it.
is not Maya. At least in our definition. Let me explain to you what Maya is. So the world appearance is not Maya. The waking state is not Maya. Anandamayi Maya has made it very clear that the world appearance seems to be Maya when Main Aya, which is that when the me comes. Only then is it Maya. You see? So to love the me and to grasp for the me and to be attached to what the me wants, that is when we are stuck in Maya, not the appearance of the world. You see? So if we get this understanding correct, that the love of Maya is the love of worldly attachments that the me has. The main Aya in Hindi means the I come, the me comes. You see? That is when it becomes Maya. It is not Maya just inherently. You see? So love the world in its appearance.
Because then it's just kind of, if it's understood in that way,
Yeah.
it gets the opposite effect.
Yes.
And then it's like complete withdrawal from it.
Yeah.
And that's what because I'm dealing kind of with this.
So we have to withdraw from the me, from the attachments of the me, from the grasping of the me.
But sometimes then it's also the word, or like the concept of the word, it also has to be included just to get that withdrawal in a sense. But then you're also withdraw from God.
Yeah?
That's also withdraw from the God. It can also be felt like that.
To
Because
withdraw from, what is the withdrawal from God?
sometimes when it's a big attachment, or the Maya, or the appearance of the world, to get this effect, to be with the God, you also withdraw from the appearance, no? But it also at the same time, it's then withdraw from the God because it's like lack of love in a sense. So I'm trying to kind of understand.
Is to not be attached to the world, to withdraw from the world? Or is it to meet it more openly?
It's very tricky.
It's actually quite simple. It's without the me, the world is not a problem. And when without the me, all that flows out from us is love and kindness and compassion, just naturally. So it is the me, the lens of the me, when we view the world from the lens of what we want, what the me wants, and what it grasps onto, then it is Maya, then it is attachment, then it is trouble. You see? But without that, it is natural for only love to flow. But would you say, independent of all of that, it is most important to meet the Lord of the universe?
Yes. I mean, to stay with this kind of stability which doesn't change. That at least means.
So suppose that meeting with the Lord of the universe was unstable. Is there a reason that is good enough that we must want to meet God? Is it for its byproducts, or because He is Him, He is God?
Yeah, you're saying the reason. I'm just maybe saying the recognition.
Yeah.
The recognition of that
The
is more
yeah.
like that because
So,
the appearance is all constant.
So, is it something? This is a very common fallacy in today's spirituality that our recognition has to become constant and stable. So is it that the recognition has to become constant and stable, or do we recognize that there are two different aspects in our being? In one aspect it is always stable, and the other aspect it is never found. So it is not that the recognition has to become stable, we have to become stable in remaining with the right instrument. And maybe indirectly it means the same thing. But it can be troublesome in the idea that, oh, it is something that comes and goes, now it has to become stable. Huh? Versus that I use my nose when I should be using my eyes, and using my eyes also the smell should become stable. Are you getting a sense of what I'm saying? It is the question of the instrument and not the fact of the recognition. So if we remain in the right place, it cannot leave. That's why I keep asking, has anyone met God and he left? Huh? Has it ever happened to anyone? Isn't that staggering? That when we meet God, He never leaves. We leave. And when we say we leave, we are saying we return to our mind intellect, we return to our grasping, we return to our taking only our sensory perceptions to be real. There's nothing wrong with sensory perception, but if you take only those to be real, then You're discarding the whole iceberg just for the tip of the iceberg, or thinking that the whole ocean is just the waves on top of the ocean.
The second question
Gotcha.
so that is what capacity do we use in a daily
Yes. Yes.
to see exactly God is using?
Yes.
What are you using?
So, how stable are we? See? So, because we made the recognition of God and the recognition of our highest reality as pure awareness into like pseudoscience or something like that, you see, so we feel like we do this experiment, we ask who am I, we mix the who with the am and a little bit of the I, and then as part of the scientific process, then there is something called the recognition or the insight. It is not that. The whole process is subject to grace and God's will. But our job is only to remain in the right place, which is inward facing. Are we stable in that way?
Father, on this question, is God real? I was taken aback when you said that, like that, the first sentence, because just yesterday, this business of inquiry and who am I, and I am this and that, and the Atma and the Paramatma, and sometimes it's the all of it, and I don't know. Yesterday, I just 2 words came, and it just stayed, and like everything else is just like subsided, and the words are "you are." That's it, and all of the I ams, and this delving into this I am. It's just so nice, it's like you are, that's all. I am not actually, but that all, again, it's no need to even say that, because the I am, the whole package of I am,
Yes.
I was feeling like so blessed,
Yes.
Just you are. I just now closed my eyes, and the only thing is,
Have you noticed that when things make us cry, in a happy way, in a blessed way, then it is not because of some understanding in the head. When things make us cry, in the head it is only because of sorrow, suffering. But when things make us cry, in a blessed way, a happy way, it is because something touches us somewhere deeper.
Today I have to speak.
Yeah.
So, when something touches us deeper and deep, and you're very deep and you break deep, and you keep breaking deep, and you break there. So those are all movements in God. So supposing if all that breaks, then it's like you don't feel the suffering would that be possible to say? So my issue here, then you don't feel. It's like you're not human. There is no feeling of being human anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
What is an example of the feeling of being human?
all those also qualities of vulnerability, humbleness and humility and feeling deep. But if you break so deep and you just don't feel anymore,
Then you don't feel anymore? I've never had that experience. Maybe I've never gone that deep. I've never had the experience where the deeper I went, I did not feel love, or I did not feel kindness or compassion, or just a belongingness, a contentment. I never reached such a state. Do you feel like in reaching the nirguna, that the saguna just vanishes? Or is it that in meeting the nirguna, the saguna just vibrates so beautifully in love and peace and contentment and joy? You can have sometimes meditative experiences where you're in like a nirvikalpa samadhi, where everything fully goes, like a deep sleep state, but you're just awake. You see, otherwise there's no big deal. We don't need to say nirvikalpa samadhi, like a huge thing. Just go to sleep. The world vanishes, no? You're done. You see? So the point of the nirvikalpa samadhi is that you're just about to awake. Just the most limited, most subtle vibration of a sense of awakeness is contained, around which there is no time and there is no space. You see? So maybe, is that something like what you're saying? But that's not the sense I got. And the nirvikalpa samadhi, you see, is not something that always remains.
no.
It is something that just you taste, and then at the end of that, what happens? You're just so full of love, you just want to hug everyone, or you just want to say to everyone, come, come, come with me. You see? Yeah. So I have not had that experience where you become zombie-like because of God, but I lived a life where I was zombie-like without God.
No, it's not a zombie life.
Yeah.
It is different. It's like when so much of breaking happens, or maybe it's a protection of the sense inside to not break anymore. But it's just, then it just becomes quiet. It's like there is no feeling. There's just no feeling. And I wouldn't even say I'm talking about this abundance of love. It's just over. It's like, because it happens so many times, so where else can it happen, no? Because the feeling of the suffering is the same, basically, even though the subjects can be different or the stories can be different, but the feeling is the same. So what I'm actually describing is this empty state without it. It's not zombie, but it's also not like you're saying this abundance of love.
So let's try to do this together.
Yeah.
So go inside yourself and don't feel love. Tell me when you come to a point where you go that deep that there is no love there. Like there should be no outpouring of love. It's not allowed. There should be no outpouring of love. Yeah? Just go inside and just block the love. Tell me when you achieve it. As you go deeper, does the love increase or decrease? And I know we all know what is supposed to be the right answer, but what is your experience?
Yeah, it should be increasing.
What are you finding?
It was actually
So there's an idea of a sort of nihilistic emptiness. You come to a point, and sometimes the nirvana sounds like that. The absolute sounds like that. Like it's a nihilistic nothingness. You see a limbo, because there is neither up nor down there. So the mind can make a limbo state out of it. And it can seem like, but that's terrible. That's just a denial of love, it's just a denial of kindness, compassion, humility, all the good things, faith. You see?
one
But it's
asking this because
Yeah.
yes, it feels somehow like a numbness.
yes. Try now.
But no,
Now it feels.
not it's not like numbness all the time.
Yeah.
It has
Now how it is.
it's not numb.
Yeah. How is it?
It's kind of more like why I'm asking,
Your face is showing me how it is.
why I'm asking this because the human nature of the feeling was I was perceiving this as guidance. Not what is love, where is compassion, it's like a guidance. So I'm asking this because in this numbness, I kind of don't have that guidance, but it's quite comfortable in a sense, like it's very neutral, it's very also kind of new to me, like to feel it or experience it, but I'm not sure if that is in a sense correct, like correct in a sense to live like that.
Be guided.
Is that without God or it's actually
No, be guided by a deeper love. Deeper love. A higher love. A deeper and deeper. The deeper you go in love, the more you feel it, the right place you're going to. So this is not that kind of nirvana which is comfortably numb.
Yeah, this would be comfortably numb. And then if it's deeper and you're open and you love, then there is again suffering.
No, don't leave that place. You can't suffer if you're there. You're not a visitor there. You have to live there. You can't, I visited there and then I'm out here and there's more suffering. Yes, of course. Because Maya will try to pull you back. It says, you went there, you see, you went to the holy place, and now you visited the not so holy place again. So then the me, the attachment, all of that will try to pull you back, and that will seem like an immense suffering, much more than before. Isn't that all our experience? That as we are deepening in our insight, if we play in the wrong playground, that seems worse than it used to. It does, my dear. So you can't leave. If you're doing rock references, then it's Hotel California. You can't leave. So don't get in that comfortably numb thing.
It doesn't seem like I'm doing it or I have an effect on it. It's like a result of result. And I'm just like kind of observing it because it's like...
So the sages are guiding who then? All this guidance from the sages, all the scriptures, all the satsangs. Why is it needed? If it's just something that one day I'm in the vortex of numbness and the next day I'm in deep love, I don't know. Is it like that? stay with God. You can do it. You're staying with God or staying facing the altar, you see, is not a series of random events or something like that.
I have no idea what's going on.
Stay facing the altar of God.
But I know that when there is so much, it's so much broke, it's broken, it's all broke.
Yeah.
And now it's like, before I know I would suffer because of it, and now it's just another level of just, it's not even suffering, or it's a quiet suffering, or it's numb, or I don't know even what it is. But definitely it's not kind of abundance of love.
Okay, so let's do the experiment again. So I asked this question, is there within you that which is beyond time and space? Not imagined, but met. Because the imagined one can seem very limbo, like, what is that within you which is beyond time and space? Stay facing that. That is facing the holy altar of God. What within you is beyond time and space? It's definitely not within the body. That is where his temple is. That is called the heart. So the heart temple is the holy place within you, and that which is holy is not in time and space. You must find this. And the deeper you go in that, the love is the prasad of that place. The deeper you go, the more you feel it, the more sensitive you become. The love that we are looking for in the world, that is just a sad reflection of the love that you feel here in your heart. So to be inward facing this way is to come to the accomplishment of the highest in our life. And to just cater to the me all the time. Soon your life will be over. I saw one, like, a very sad cartoon actually. Somewhere on Twitter or something, I saw this cartoon of this man. He's running as a young man, and he's collecting, like, there's money all around him, and he's collecting it like that. So he keeps running. So there are like 3 frames like that, and then in the last frame, the road is getting over, the cliff, end of the cliff is there. He has a lot of money scattered all over him, but he's become old and the end of the road is right there. But is it just about money? It's not just about money. There are millions and millions and millions, billions actually, who have come and gone, fallen for the same trap. I just want what is enough. I just want what is rightfully mine. All the excuses to chase that, everything other than God. Because God needs faith. God needs faith, and faith is difficult. Faith is not just belief, it's not just I believe in God. Faith is to trust that which you can't understand. It's beyond your rationality. Are you willing to risk your life in this faith? Otherwise, what is your plan B? Say, I don't want to risk my life on this, I can't. So then, what is option 2? What is it that you'll get so much here? Is it? And by the way, I'm not at all saying that if God is number one in your life, if God is the center of your life, then your waking state will just become empty of everything else. You will become a beggar on the streets, and you will never have a relationship, and you will never get any material comfort. Not saying any of that. It is heard that way, you see, because the mind tries to scare us. Okay. So does that mean then we can chase that also? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm only saying that being with God, He will get you what is good. Can we please understand this simple point? That if we are just with God, He will bring us that which is good. If we are ever with our true parent, you feel like the true parent will not get us his gifts. So instead of chasing, just be with God. Because all that is good can only come from Him. And that needs trust, that needs faith, that needs devotion, and it needs a lot of patience. And that is the pressure that the mind puts on us. Leave it, you go, God. You want to have a normal life, don't you? God can wait. It may not say those words because then you will let it go. But in one way or the other, God can wait. You feel that our ancestors who left, those people who are leaving the world every day, thousands and hundreds of thousands, leaving every day, many of them would have also said, I will find God. But they ran out of time. Why did they run out of time? Because they thought that there is time. You see? So are we really committing to this project or no? Or are we going to be half-hearted? We don't expect God to be half-hearted with us. We expect Him to be fully there when we turn within. how many words do we want to hear from how many sages? The purest, the holiest, the sweetest ones like Nanakji, just pure love, who's telling us these things which even in his mouth they can sound harsh, that we are wasting this life. So are we committing to this project or no? It will feel risky because you want to do many things with your life. And again, I'm saying that all the good things are given only by Him anyway. So I am committing, but conditions apply. No conditions can apply here. It's a complete makeover of our life. You will not be able to squeeze God into the crowd of your existing life, into the crowd of your attachments. The 100 Kauravas are already there. Now God will be 101. So like Arjuna, we have to go chop with all our attachments so that we make room for God. And never become complacent. Never feel that you made it now, you can just grab. Always be humble. Always be a beginner. If you just heard the word God, seriously, like literally, Nanakji is telling us that this life we've been gifted with this opportunity, and the opportunity is to meet the Lord of the universe. Okay? Now the phrase Lord of the universe, our mind really can't fathom that. And plus in the modern world we keep hearing these things everywhere, so it's no big deal. So when we hear Nanakji saying that this life has been given to us, that much we admit, it has been given to us, like we did not have anything to do with the creation of this life. So it's been given to us. And he's saying it is so that we can find the Lord of the universe. But can we meet those words? And I'm telling you that to meet the Lord of the universe, you have to stay facing that which is beyond time and space within yourself. That is the heart altar. And don't make it into some pseudo-scientific experiment and say, oh yeah, my presence is there, and then in the presence is like this. It is Him. His presence is there, which you meet as your presence. What a gift. That His presence is that which I call I am, the Atma within. Whether it is felt or not, it's none of our business. We have to stay facing that altar, whether it is lit up or it seems dark. So to the mind, it will seem like a sacrifice of time. I'm waiting at God's altar. Hopefully, I'm not imagining a lot of rubbish. Just waiting patiently and courageously for His grace to bring us His darshan, His recognition. While the world is offering every brand of candy there is, every brand of candy there is, come. The deeper you want to go, the more the candy comes in the world. Come. Okay? And oftentimes it is neem leaves that seem like candy to us. But they still call us and say, it's oftentimes neem leaves which seem like candy. No? Come. Because you are going deeper to a higher love, to a greater love. So the mind is like a corrupt tourist agent. We've all encountered those. Or a greedy auto driver. Why? Because you want to go to Taj Mahal. It takes you to some other place and says, see, this is it. Why you want to go that far? I'll take you here. I'll show you in Bangalore only, I'll show you Taj Mahal. Like that. Yeah? So it tries to replace God through the world of appearances, and then it becomes Maya when you say, I want. Me wants. Yeah? Because that want you should have kept reserved for God alone. That longing should have been only for God alone. not for that which comes and goes. So, is there a greater lack of faith than not remaining with God because we think we know better what we want? Was that a complicated question? Is there a greater lack of faith than not remaining with God because we think we know better what we want? I don't feel like there's a bigger lack of faith in that. And yet, this is what all of us do. Go our own way instead of remaining with God. And that error, whether you want to call it sin or mistake or kata or pap or whatever you want to call it, it is undeniable that we do this. It would be a great stupidity for us to say that I live every moment in God's will. So it's important for us to notice what makes us behave in this way, do these things, waste our lives. But the project is very difficult. It is very difficult. Except when you are guided by the right guides. I would go so far as to say that it's impossible. Without the scriptures, without the sages, without the saints, without the teachers that we have, this Chakravyu is impenetrable. And that is why all the sages everywhere have valued the value of the right company, both inwardly and outwardly. If you get involved inwardly with greed and envy and lust and desire and wanting, that's bad company for you. It's not good for your spiritual health. If you're only involved outwardly, attached to those who just care about that which is temporal, of the world, in time, then you have to deal with that additional load to retain your inner strength. So our Sangha can be a refuge in this way. But to truly be a refuge in this way, each Sangha member has to be fully committed to this project. And will we slip from time to time? Of course we will. All of us will. But because we are each of us committed to this project, then in our interactions, in our being around our brothers and sisters, we can elevate their way of life in that moment. And in that way then the Sangha is a refuge. Sangam Sharanam Gacchami. But it is completely possible for us as a Sangha to become a kusang, to become bad company. If all we do is spread judgment, all we do is spread this what is the right way to say it? The chalta hai, chalega type thing. Is the casualness about the project of God. And it is not the right way for us to be. All of us should be so alight with the fire of God that even if in 5 Sangha members 2 are slipping, then the other 3 should be able to keep them afloat. In our case, many times what happens is that one is slipping, then all 5 are slipping along with them. मैं भी चलता हूँ. So where is that fire for God? So Jesus said at one time that, I'm paraphrasing, very bad at quoting, especially the Lord, but so he said, because you're lukewarm, I have no option but to spit you out. Because you're neither hot nor cold, just somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the middle. Spiritual when it's convenient, worldly when it tempts us. Soon it'll all be over. Soon this one will be gone. Soon all of you will be grey like this. Yeah. All this will be over soon. The boy who started sharing is not there anymore. From 12 years back, he was not like this. Soon this one will also go. So keep the fire for God's recognition, for His presence, for His love alive in your heart. Fight. Don't just give in to Maya every time it dangles a carrot. The best carrots are from God. If you just get this point,
Can I ask you for this fight?
which carrot?
This fight, this what
This
you
fight.
mentioned, fight, this fight. There are 2 feelings sometimes. One feeling is that I am making this fight to be engaged in this fight, and the other one is that I really need to fight it because it's like dark, so there is no other option.
Yes.
So how
It
you
is confusing. I see what you're-
differentiate that it's not
Yeah.
my own mess or it's actual fight that I need to battle.
So, how to fight darkness? There is no such thing as darkness, isn't it? So, how to fight it? That is the fight that we are engaged in.
That's like a denial.
Huh?
It's like a denial of the darkness, of there is no darkness.
No, in the sense that is there a substance called darkness? I'm in fact saying the opposite of what you're thinking. I'm saying. I'm saying that we must fight the darkness, but the mind can come to us and say, "But it doesn't actually exist." So how to fight that? Huh? We have to be the light. We have to bring the light, because although darkness is not a thing, it is the absence of light. Is it? So, although sin is not a thing, it is the absence of love. Love it out. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Just love it in and out. True love, you see, unconditional love, God's love.
Because that's also the other version. It's like we deny it in a sense that it just vaporized, it just vanished in that denial. Kind of.
Like a neti
You're
neti.
looking for but sometimes for me it's very like, is that just being ignorant?
We did this experiment together many years ago. I don't know if you were there, but we used to do this often. So I used to take everyone through, and I'm a bit tired today to do the whole thing, but you get the sense. One approach is to deny. Deny in the sense of I am not this, neti neti. Not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Come to the point where you cannot deny anymore, that you cannot say niti anymore. And in your mind, you can never reach that point, but you can reach that point. That is the whole point of the exercise. So come to the point where you can no longer say, I am not this. The other thing is that you love everything. True love is inclusive. So you're not saying not this, you're saying also this. I am also this. I am also this. I am this, I am this, I am this. I am the space between this. I am this, I am this, I am this. Include everything. Just include in full love, in full belongingness, truly. Till you come to a point where there's nothing left to include. Tell me the difference in the two places that you come to at the end of both of these. One is a seemingly outer movement of love, 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 include. Second is the seeming opposite to the mind, which is to exclude. That which changes is not what I am, that which changes is not what I am. You go inwardly, and maybe you can make a note of this contemplation and do it when you have some time at home. Tell me what is the difference at the end of both of these contemplations. So you can either love it out or just focus on that which is unchanging. Where do you go? Where do you reach?
You were last time one of the Satsang you were mentioning you went to see a movie.
Yeah.
and you had to close your eyes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So like this, it's quite a long time was my perception. I just I needed to from everything from just like it was like a movie that I cannot see or participate.
And what
But
is the
I
most
was.
difficult part?
I
Sorry,
was.
but what was the most difficult part once I closed my eyes? That I saw that I got attached to wanting to know what happens in the narrative.
Yeah, and in a sense also it's
Is it?
inside.
Exactly,
it's
that's
all
exactly what I'm
included.
saying.
It's
So
all
now
included.
suppose,
It's like those.
okay, so now if you go like that in the mid conversation, then both of us and everybody listening will say, okay, how did that end? Okay? And that's what brings us back. You can spot this, that it's not necessarily of course that movie was horribly violent and I didn't want to see it at all, but it's not, what pulls us back in is wanting completion in the narrative, wanting closure.
Like comparing to the life I was contemplating than this, my approach was this. So I will have these life situations, so you close, you withdraw yourself inside. And by that light, like light it out, I had this, obviously it was an idea that the movie is going to change into the light love version. But that movie is already made, like you were in the cinema, no? So I'm guessing from the experience that I had, I was so sure that if I love it, like you said, that movie is going to change into something really lighter version, right? And it seems I was trying this years and years and years, and that the movie's made already, and I'm now kind of I'm describing this numbness or come from numbness. I accepted kind of that the movie is made. So the concept what I'm so deeply I'm trying to figure out, even if I love it, even if I love it out, it is done. It's made already. It's not going to change. So then what am I doing with loving it or lighting it? I mean, and then I had an idea. Okay, so that's done. Maybe then like the new one starts, which is that love version, because we do have impact when we go with the light and love everywhere than if we go with something else. So there is some difference.
So firstly, and I'm not saying that you were doing this, but firstly, remember that every movie with the me as the protagonist is a horror movie. So whether the me is wanting to love it out or become the Mahagyani with Neti Neti, it's always going to be a horror story, as long as me is central. So notice whether it was like that. The me wanted to change outcomes by loving and by doing all of that, and the me's idea of loving is what? Love me, yes, and its idea of love actually is to grasp, is to own. And whether it is to own the outcome or the people, that is how. So true love is without any filter. It can come only from God's light. And that which comes from God's light always leads to auspiciousness alone. But if you use it as a tactic, as a strategy, it won't work like that.
It's not even tactic, it's like a feeling how to be. And I keep having the same experience if I'm love and light and nice.
With God or without God? That is the most. It is the most important question, my child. So let me, and it got clarified for me also a few years back. That is love without God? So Kierkegaard actually showed me this. So he said that love is love only when it is about God. Our loving our brother and sister, brother or sister, whatever the construct of the outer relationship may be, has to be about God. And this part gets missed out in the modern world. You feel like I am loving, that one should love me back. No. I am loving, you are loving only when you're pointing to the light of life, which is God. If I keep that out, and it's not about God, then it's not really about love. Are you all getting this point? And even if you don't accept it, at least hear it. Because sometimes, like when I first saw it, I didn't accept it. But at least I heard it and it kept working within me. It kept doing something within me. You see? I am telling all of you that love is love only when it is about God. It can seem like a very tough pill to swallow.
And that love also cannot be drained.
Cannot be trained. Because if it is about God, it is unconditional and unlimited.
Because I go into defense, and mostly the defense is because to keep the God, to keep the love, and not let it go. So I go defense, and I find myself, especially in India, like Khalid, like Durga. And by my feeling, it's not right.
Yeah. So the trick I will tell you is that you stay facing God's altar, and all the love, all that needs to flow out of your expression will come. Is there a holy altar of God within you or no? Does Ramji, Lakshmanji, Sita ji live there? Does Krishna ji live there? Does Jesus ji live there? Does Allah ji live there? Does the Lord of the universe live there or no? That is the first question I'm asking. Is God real, or are we just going to always relegate Him to a corner and try to construct our life without taking that to be the fundamental reality? Haven't you seen that even in satsang, the mind wants us to exclude God from it? Yeah, God, yeah, fine, but just tell me about my life. Just tell me about what I should do. So don't look at the elephant in the room. Let's look at every ant. That's what it says. You see? So the denial of the elephant in the room is what has led to this world of suffering. We are denying the very basis of life. We are denying life itself and saying, okay, what should I do with my life? But if God is central, everything is simpler. It's not easy,
Because you also
but simpler.
to keep the company,
To keep
the company of who is interested for God,
Yeah.
God, the satsang, the sadhana, the company. But in life,
Start.
You deal with everything and everyone, and everything comes and
Yeah.
everyone comes. And what I'm saying is that, okay, that flow of love, but
Yeah.
in my case, it's not, sometimes it's not possible.
God.
But it's not correct.
God.
I don't feel it's correct.
God.
Huh?
God. God. Keep him at the center. Okay, let's do just for a minute. Experiment with this. Remove the me and just make the story about God. What happened now? Suppose you went to Lord Ram's darbar. You know what a darbar is? The court, where he is presiding. Yeah? You went over there and you just kept looking at the one who's just sitting in a corner over there. You're not looking at the one who's sitting on the throne. Then what darshan are we going to have? That is what we are doing with our life. We're looking at the ones who our eyes are showing us. But who's the one sitting on the throne? We forget about that one. We're looking at the soldiers who are guarding the throne room from outside. But we're never looking at the one sitting on the throne of the universe. Are our senses showing us the throne room, the heart temple? Am I saying that we must be rid of the content of our senses? No. But why see the movie only half? Or like just the tiny corner and say it should make sense here. See the whole movie. See the whole movie. I look only at time and space. Do you want to waste your entire life only looking at this movie in time and space? That is the question of God versus Maya. Is it? And without a me, is there time? Is there distance? There isn't. It's notional. Huh? What are the best seats in this movie? You know what the mistake we make is? That if I go to God, then what changes for me here? What we should be asking is, if I change something here, will it help me go to God? God has to become central. The movie has to become secondary at best. See what I'm saying? If you think you can change something here, change it so that you can be with God. Don't expect God to change things here. That's all upside down.
I feel I've got something horribly wrong. I want to ask.
Yes? You feel you got something horribly wrong. Okay.
It's not making sense to me.
Well, hopefully nothing I'm saying is making sense. Okay, good ask.
I've been meaning to ask you this many times, but somehow I feel I'd lose the insight, if you want to call it, in the process. And today I feel like I should. Does going inside lead to outside?
So going outside
Going inside
Yes.
lead to outside, in the sense, where is God? That when you ask, is God real?
Yeah. Is the question that when I go inside, will I actually get to meet him outside?
No. Like,
Okay.
I mean, if I go inside,
Yeah.
do I find that the outside itself is God? It's not objects, it's God only.
Yes, definitely.
And this inside, outside time and space, that stuff, and sitting on a throne, it's not it's an object, no, if it were to sit on a throne.
Yes.
And outside space and time, I don't know what you're talking.
Yes. And if he's outside space and time, how is he sitting on a throne?
Inside, within, outside, within also.
He's
It's
inside and outside time and space and sitting on a throne.
Yeah. What do you say?
What am I saying? He is inside. He is outside time and space. He is sitting on a throne. That is a bit poetic. Just to add to some beauty of the thing. But not in the way the throne that we sort of visualize or imagine.
So that is true. If you go inside, you come out. In the sense, it turns inside out.
You go outside time and space. Because this outside is not outside time and space.
But God is also here only.
Huh?
It's here only.
This is not an exclusion of God.
Yeah.
Is it?
What more is there to God? Sense.
What's inside? That's the main point.
What's inside is
That which is, okay, what's a good metaphor to put this? Okay. So, tip of the iceberg we use. So, let's say another one. So, suppose you say that it's a submarine and there's a periscope. Now you are on a boat, and you can see on the outside. You only see the periscope, so you think the periscope is all there is, as far as that submarine is concerned. You see, but in the boat you have this ability to somehow go inside. And when you go inside, you notice that the periscope is part of the submarine, but it's a very tiny. It's the tip of the submarine. You see? So this outside is just the surface, it's just the tip of this iceberg, the tip of the periscope of this submarine. It is not that you go inside so that you can meet him outside. But you recognize that the seeming outside is also part of the whole. But he is truly met inside. Would you say the higher meeting is meeting the periscope or the submarine? The submarine. And would you say yet that meeting the periscope is to not meet the submarine? You can't say it. No? You would say it's still submarine, yes. So anybody who sees the periscope, they come and report, I've seen the submarine, are they right or wrong? That's why satsang questions are so difficult.
So this isn't something I've just imagined. It's getting there somewhere. Are you saying that?
Huh?
Is this something that I've just deluded myself in? This is
Which part?
that God is this light in which, I don't know even in which, This
Hey, where's the light part? This is the projection.
light part is when this stops being objective. It loses its solidity.
Okay, so if the movie screen then becomes just like
Is
a hazy, cloudy something, is that then it? Is that then the light of the projector?
light of the project. It's light, I call it. I don't know, projector.
But the light that I'm talking about is outside the movie screen.
It's outside.
Although the movie screen, the light, the moving images are made up of that light. But you have to go outside the references of time and space for that movie to meet the projector, isn't it? Yeah, otherwise, in what scene will Amitabh meet the projector which is projecting the movie? Can he? Suppose there is a movie with Amitabh Bachchan as the main star. In what scene will he actually meet the light of the projector? No scene can be made like that. So that's how we have to step out of this realm of time and space.
And will
Within
this get in the
yourself.
way, me seeing this as light, will that get in the way of going to the projector?
Does it stop you from going inside?
Inside what?
You go inside you. Inside you, there are many layers. Okay, where do you go? If you were to imagine a tree, you say, I imagine it in my head, but is it really in your head? What is that space in which you imagine the tree? Is it? Then you follow up and say, okay, where is the emotion that you see? Suppose that tree reminds you of something in your childhood. Then in which space do you experience the emotion of nostalgia? Then you go deeper and you say there's a sense of being. There's a presence about me. Is that in time and space? Even if if it is not palpable to you, you recognize an area within yourself. No? Area is the wrong word to use. But that within yourself which is not in time and space.
Like this also I've been meaning to ask you, in the sense that if you say thought is one layer, emotion is one layer, etc., etc. Now I can't simultaneously see all the layers unless they're in the same space.
You can feel the anger and the thought of resentment at the same time. No?
So they're in the same space.
Yeah, everything is inside you. So if inside you is one space, then yes. Okay, so then let's go one step deeper. That which perceives all of this, is it in the same space? Where is that? How do you know it is not in the same space?
I can't perceive it.
Huh?
I can't perceive it.
You can't perceive it, yes, but you still know that just because you can't perceive something, you can't conclude that it's not in the same space. Like it's not a denial that there is a perceiver.
It's not denied.
Exactly. So you're concluding that there is a perceiving at least happening, but it is not in the same space, to use the word, as thoughts and emotions and imagination and memory. Yes?
Are you saying it's a different space then?
Okay, so does it have to be in a space?
One second.
Because this is what the mind can't meet. Because saying that all this is happening in one space because I notice my thoughts, emotion, I can see the world outside, all of this is one space. But the perceiver is not here, or that which is witnessing all of this is not here. So that must be in some other space. But do we have any valid evidence to prove that that one is in any space? Or is it just the mind's limitation to make that which is not in any space has to be in a space?
When you're talking about the projector also, you mean this perceiver.
Yeah.
And it's not in another space.
You tell me.
When you say it outside you mean
Exactly.
inside?
No, you tell me whether whether the perceiver is in another space or it is spaceless. And what is the basis of that conclusion?
I'll take some time on this and get back.
It's a beautiful contemplation. And I know we switch gears really fast from the love for God to this insight which is beyond imagination, beyond anything we can fathom, but actually both go hand in hand. In a way we can say that. Perceiving is better because the implies like a somebodyness. This is reminding me of the old satsangs we used to have, which is fun.
The movie already made.
No, every movie is already made. Okay, so our mind thinks that the movie has to be frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4, frame 5. But remember that consciousness is all there is. Now, in all there is, will there be only frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, frame 4? No, from every frame there will be infinite other frames, and every one of those frames will be an infinite other frames. So, is the movie already made? Yes, but with infinitely infinite frames. Which one will we traverse through our attention, with our attention? That is what we have to see.
With the attention we traverse.
Yeah. So if you read the comic book in random frames like that, it will seem like a different story.
So it's kind of made, but by your own perception and creation, you're creating it, but it's already made.
Everything is, all there is all there is. You see, all there is means every possibility there is.
And from this concept that the movie is already made, that easiness come in, like, or is it an excuse? Is the easiness or an excuse?
Depends how you use it.
Because I've seen
Many times it's an
people
excuse.
using
This
as
predetermination many times is a big excuse to just like, if I am going to inquire, then I'll inquire. If I'm not inquire, then not inquire. If I'm going to be in satsang, it's already written, I'm in satsang.
Maybe also that easiness.
Of course, it's already written because everything is already written. You see? That's why Bhagavan told us very clearly, as long as it feels like we have a choice, we must make the choice. As long as we feel that we have a choice, we must make the choice to let go of the false, to drop avidya. That's why Nanakji said, no, we must follow God's will. Why was his name pointing to we must follow God's will? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's God's will, we'll follow God's will. What does the need to tell us that? You see, Acha. So here we cannot grasp that which is so far beyond here. We have to accept that at some level we are like stupid creatures whose intellectual capacities are very limited compared to the one who is projecting this world and all the universes. And yet in His mercy and grace, He's given us access to something deeper than our intellect, which is here in the heart, which is intuitive. You see, that's why sages have written books like the Yoga Vashisht, you see, which are so many hundreds of years back. And now people are calling these kind of movies the cutting edge movies, no? With multiverse theory and all this dreams within dreams within dreams, and actually the final dream is the reality and everything else was the dream. It's all That's why that scripture is amazing. Because intuitively the sages had access to this greater insights. Okay? And why do we enjoy these movies? At least some of us do. Okay? It was because it's completely nonsensical, no? Actually, at some level. And yet something is attracted to these movies. Because somewhere the notion of infinity is attracted to us as well.
It's very strange because it's not an excuse for it.
Yes,
Ease.
exactly.
And it's ease.
Everything, my child. Everything actually. Everything can be an excuse or it can be a deepening. In the mind,
Because the sages that are going like that, that's where they get this ease because it's done, it's made, it's what it is.
Yeah.
And they can just sit with the God and be with the
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But it can be also an excuse.
You know, that's why at the very beginning of the Yoga Vashishta, if you've all read it, what does it say? Yeah? Yes, that's the first, but right at the very beginning. Somewhere it says, either in the preface or in the very beginning. It says, without effort, nothing is going to happen. Because that tendency is there in all of us to just look at this and say, whoa. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen like that. And that one line is completely contradictory to the rest of the book. And yet it is the first line. At least the way I remember it very conveniently like that. See.
Yes, Father. Recently I remember that there was a book called Panchatandra
Yeah.
Stories. That also has similar structure where a cow has a story going on with a god or a dog or something. Then they will say, don't you know this in the story? And they will narrate the story. In that story, there will be similar situations. So it will be like 5 levels of stories happening in story. So that was kids, intended to be kids, but even there, the
The inception Panchatantra.
Like before, when we used to do these contemplations,
Say that again.
like before when we used to do these contemplations, I used to find it very frustrating in the sense that if I'm blind and you keep telling me how beautiful the Taj Mahal is, every description you give in lucid detail, it'll only get me more and more frustrated because I can't see it.
Yeah. But
And
did I ever say that you can't see it?
It's been my experience that I can't meet
So
what
far.
is- Yeah.
So suppose that you were actually blind, then nobody should tell you about the Taj Mahal, how it looks. Unless you ask. But because that you are not blind, it is given to you as milestones, as inspiration, as ways to look. See? And of course, that when we are trying to grasp and we don't get it, then it can be frustrating. It doesn't mean we have to stop trying.
I thought this is some justification I came up with. I thought you switched to the faith, the bhakti, prayer, servitude, all that, because so as to awaken that eye, to make that visible, what we are blind to open my eyes in a way, the Atma, the light of Atma. It's only then you can meet it. That's how I interpreted how you switched. And somehow I have this resistance to going the previous way, and I don't know what to do, but I just...
My hope is, my prayer of course, is that it worked in this sort of way for all of you. But if you were to ask me the reason, I have no idea. It was not a planned thing that now we'll speak more in this way or that way. This may be the last satsang like that, tomorrow onwards. And in fact, I've been feeling to do the Ashtavakra again. So maybe after Ashtavakra Ji comes, he'll completely change things around again. But it was not. It was maybe the Atma's plan, but
So I do have the eyes, even without the Atma.
Huh?
Without the Atma, I do have the eyes.
No, even at that time, I'm sure, or at least I hope I said often enough, that only through the grace of the Atma, through the grace of the... In fact, that is why right from the beginning we call this
Atma.
Atma Gyan Kendra.
So is there something different I should do from like before contemplations when we used to some, I don't know what.
Both paths are, if it seemed like two different paths, I can say that I can understand how it may be seeming like that, but both are valid and I cannot put one above the other. And I cannot say because this is the present expression, then this must be higher or lower. Anyway, we must lose this category of higher and lower anyway. We all, in the modern world, we are too obsessed with my path is the highest path. That's insulting to God in some way. No? Can any path that leads to God not be highest? And how is it that the path that we are on always ends up being the highest? We must not have these kind of fallacies. We just say what grace is bringing us auspiciously from our heart is the highest for us in this moment. We cannot say forever, we cannot say for others, but if it is coming from your heart, if it is coming from the Atma within, it is the best for you at this point of time.
Mine was more like, should I do it differently from how I used to do it before?
Yes, be in Satsang, you're fine.
Okay.
Which you are, so it's good. So the throne room of God beyond time and space, it is inside you, within the heart temple. I was telling one child that that throne itself could be made of so many universes where he sits. Like after one of the retreats, some of you were there. Then after a few days of the retreat, I start just losing it. So we were just sitting in my room. It was a little late at night also. So as it gets later, I become more and more crazy. So that night I was telling some of you that, like we're drinking this, like we're drinking this water, like this. One day we may drink galaxies like this. Like we're meeting each other, it looks like we have one head. Then one day we may meet each other with 1,000,000 heads. Ramblings of a madman? Probably. But at least this much is clear to me that our worldview is too limited. Because we are too not used to or scared to explore that which is beyond this timid light and sound show. So very different satsang today. Should we read a bit of the Ramcharitmanas? Some children really struggling with the Achinta Veda Veda. Let's look it up. Devi wants to come. Devi can come.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
If you want to close, it's okay. I can also speak next time.
No,
No.
I want to hear.
I had to run out for a moment, so I missed what you said the last few moments.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Yeah, I just wanted to connect a bit with you. And I don't know, somehow I find it hard to be consistent, although I feel I'm really trying, but yeah, I don't know what to do about this. Like, sometimes I feel like I really need to take a break also, and I feel it comes from my heart because I go into some crazy trying, and then I just have to just go for a walk, just speak with some friends and don't try so hard. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's also okay like this, but I wish I could be more consistent, like to really do it in a good way, the prayer, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel the same way, that I feel like I wish I could be more consistent. So I'm starting. So something very beautiful I heard, and I want to tell all of you, is from Saint Teresa, no? Saint Teresa of Avila. She said that when you are inspired divinely and you know it is divine inspiration, then you must give it your best. So I feel like that simple line is very life changing, because there are many things which I feel like come from my heart, and I just let them go. So this morning it came to my heart that I have to spend at least 4 hours every day in focused prayer, which means that no, like Nirantar Japa, unceasing prayer has to go on. But I felt inspired in my heart to every day, preferably eyes closed, no distraction, find 4 hours to just pray. And today, by God's grace, it happened. It's not going to be easy, of course, with satsang, with family, with work, with all of those things, with Aslan now. So, but that is the guidance I got from her. So I want to follow that. And I am saying that to all of you is that all of you are welcome to join, whoever feels like want to take on this difficult sounding project to find 4 hours. So I was just feeling that can 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. work? You just do it in one shot. And then I remembered that on alternate days, 6:30, I have Aslan duty to play with him and take him for a bit of a walk. So let's see how it works. So today it was 6 to 8, 2 hours happened, and then one hour in one shot, and then two half an hour slots happened. But I feel like it will be very beautiful.
So you just chant.
I just chant. So what I did today is that I spent 2 hours, the first 2 hours chanting, doing the ADS, and then the 1 hour was in quiet communion with God, just like no mind but full God's presence, and some things were being said, like I was saying some things, and I was hearing the answers that I needed to hear. And then the other part was the other two half an hour slots was half and half between just communicating with God and chanting, praying the ADS. But just start with the ADS, it's good enough. If you want to start with 1 hour, do 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever. But I feel like that just dedicated focus time will give you the momentum to do the Nirantar, the unceasing prayer throughout the day. And I can see that for some of you it just become a bit like yeah, I have to pray all the time. So I'm praying, it's happening, it's not happening. It's a bit casual like that. So if you can dedicate some focused time only to God, at least that's the inspiration here. And I'm not saying all of you have to do it, but I would love it if you would. One eye, very good. Very good. More. It's very good. It's quite sublime. It's quite sublime to just. And grace makes the time somehow, no? At least so far. I should not speak too soon. Let's see how tomorrow is, but today grace just made the time. So like that, so in these ways, then we get inspired from somewhere and we try to follow, and we fail and then we get up again and then we fail again and then we get up again. It's all right. Because I sense from your report that it's not a lack of effort, so I feel you're fine.
Can I say a bit more about it? Because I feel I shared a bit before with you, like there are some energies inside or something very tight and dense. And sometimes when I pray, I feel there is no true power in my inner voice, like this so, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult. Like I'm saying the prayer, but I feel so blocked and like cannot connect to my heart or to God.
Yeah.
And as I'm saying, sometimes these energies get more tight, and then it's very hard to go on because it feels like I don't know, just go on like this and just.
One simple thing you can do is remember this moment, how you're communicating now. That's how you need to pray.
Yeah, but it's not easy. Like it feels
Not easy.
sometimes in 1 hour, maybe 2 times, it feels like it comes from my heart, like the rest is just mechanical or like pushing through this.
So just start with the sense that what is the prayer that you're doing? The Jesus prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just start with the sense that He's with you, you see, and that you're just communicating with Him.
Yeah, but I have a lot of ideas about myself. Like I'm bad. I'm not connected to God. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. But yeah, I do my best. That's what I feel. I'm doing my best.
It's good, my child. I feel like you're doing just like me anyway. There's not much difference between how we are praying. So what you could also do is that if these thoughts come about, I'm bad, I'm like this, I'm not connected. So just start by saying to God, saying to Jesus, all of these things.
There's a feeling of being fake that I can't distinguish if it's true or not. Like I feel fake when I pray, like it's not genuine. But it's the best I can do. I don't know.
Yes. So this also you can tell me, of course, it's very good. But when you start your prayer, then just say, Father, I just feel like I'm so fake. I don't do the prayer properly. I'm just doing lip service. I don't even know if I know how to pray, but I'm here and I want to fully be yours. Please help me. Please bless me. Because without your love, your light, your guidance, I cannot do this. Then you can just start your prayer after that. And then as you're praying, so you're doing the Jesus prayer, so you say, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Bless my heart with the light of Spirit. Jesus, 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 Jesus. You see, and you can do it with your breath or just like this, it's fine. And in the middle, if your mind is getting active again and saying, you have this is wrong with you, then just communicate with Him again, saying, Father, I'm trying to pray, but these thoughts are distracting me. I bring them to you because they tempt me, the world tempts me. So then in this way your relationship with him is deepening, and you're not leaving your prayer actually, even though your mind tries, you take everything back to him. So whether we're doing the Ram prayer, the Krishna prayer, the Shiva prayer, then we pray to Ramji like this, to Krishnaji like this, to Allah like this, to whichever aspect, whichever name of God we resonate with, we hand over everything to him. So in this way, we are actually in our prayer deepening our relationship with God, and we are deepening our surrender with him. And we go like little children, whatever problems we have also, we keep giving to him, we offer to him. And then you don't leave your prayer in this process. Whatever the mind throws at you, take it to God. And many times I feel like I'm doing it mechanically. I feel like it's not really sincere. It's okay. We're all learning. We're all going through the process.
That's okay to do it like that, no? To just do it
It's
and
better
just
than
do
not
my
doing
best.
it.
Yeah,
It's
because
better than not doing
sometimes it really feels impossible to do it differently, and I do something at least.
it. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And it's okay if I do it in my own language, like because that's how I
Of
learned it.
course, of course, Peter, of course.
Okay.
God knows every language, so you don't have to.
Thank you.
Bless you, bless you. Very good. Let's go to Nupur after many years.
Just wanted to say a huge thank you, Father, for bringing this child back in your love. It's just the most divine homecoming that's happened. Just so grateful. So grateful.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you in Satsang. Last few times you're here, I'm so happy. Very, very good. Very, very good. Bless you. Bless you so much.
Thank you, Father. I just wanted to share. It was complete. You asked the question, is God is real today? And that was, I felt his hand bring me to you, Father, because in June I was in Sahaja, and after leaving Sahaja, it was beautiful, but then when Guruji says that the mind comes and there was this intense feeling of aloneness, and I'm a huge bhakt of Sai Baba, so I asked Sai Baba that when you say Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, then why am I feeling this aloneness? And
Yes,
Father,
yes,
he
yes.
just literally in that moment, something changed and he brought me to your satsang. I don't know how it happened. And it was just love and love, Father. And in fact, the first satsang that came up in my search was Atma Darshan Samadhi. And from that
Oh,
day
really?
onwards, I've been just chanting. And I
Very
didn't
good.
know it's called ADS. So I was like, I
Ah,
thought it's some Greek prayer. And I was like, didn't know that Atma Darshan Samadhi is ADS. So yesterday I was
very
looking for AOEDIUS all over
Yes,
the
I was
internet.
actually wondering what that was, but good.
Yeah, I thought it's maybe that. Then I didn't. I just realized now when Samaya mentioned that is it ADS,
Ah,
and it all
yes.
made sense to me. It's just
Ah,
if it's not God, then who it is that's answering all my questions,
it
Father,
is
and
him.
it's
It
just
is
so
him.
beautifully.
Very good. It is him. It is him very much.
I'm so grateful, Father. Just thank you so much for all your
Thank you.
grace. Thank you.
So happy, my child. Welcome, welcome back.
Thank you,
All
Father.
my love, all my blessing. Very good.
Love you, Father. Thank you.
Love you too.
महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी, कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा, हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराज, कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साज, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन, विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सिंह दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे, लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हर्षि उर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई, सहस्र वदन तुम्हरो यश गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाँ थे, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाँ थे, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीना, तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू, प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, चल दिलांज गए अचरज नाही, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे, सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज समारो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुआरे, अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुमरे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई, संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय महदेरा, तनय संकट हरन मंगल मूर्ति रूप, मंगल मूर्ति लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप तुलसी हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। जय हनुमान की जय,
उमापति महादेव की जय।